My name is Dr. Evan Rees. Until last winter, I believed I understood the universe, at least as much as a theoretical physicist at the University of Cambridge could. I had devoted my life to studying wormholes, dark energy, and the mathematics that binds reality together. But none of my equations prepared me for the night the alien woman came for me. It was a Tuesday in January, cold and bone-quiet. The campus was nearly deserted for winter break. I was alone in my office, surrounded by chalkboards filled with half-erased formulas and pages of unfinished calculations. I had been working on a paper proposing that consciousness itself might have a gravitational field. That thought, in some obscure quantum way, could bend spacetime. At 3:17 a.m., the lights flickered. I didn't think much of it at first. Cambridge's old power grid was notorious. But then the computer screens on my desk went white. Not off-white. Brilliant, impossible white, radiating from within the glass as though something behind it was shining through. That's when I heard the voice. Evan Rees. Please don't be afraid. The voice wasn't coming from the speakers. It was in my head. Calm, soft, female with an accent I couldn't place. The light grew brighter until it filled the entire room. I shielded my eyes and stumbled back. When the glare faded, she was standing there. A woman, if you could call her that. She looked human enough to pass in a crowd, but something was off. Her eyes were too large, shimmering like liquid mercury. Her skin was pale, almost luminescent, and her hair, if it was hair, drifted slightly as though underwater. She wore a suit of dark material that seemed woven from shifting light. I froze, my mind racing through rational explanations. Hallucination, gas leak, stress. "You are Evan Rees," she said again, stepping closer. "You recognize the signal, don't you?" "The what?" I managed to whisper. "The resonance field you calculated last month. You published it on the Quantum Forum under the alias Axion Seeker." I blinked. "That's, how do you wait you read my paper?" Her lips curved into something resembling a smile. "I didn't read it. Heard it. You called into the field, into us." That was when I realized she wasn't joking. Part 1. The signal. I should have been terrified, but curiosity drowned out my fear. I asked her name. "You may call me Nira," she said. "In my world, names are frequencies. You could not pronounce mine." She explained, or tried to, that she wasn't from any planet in our galaxy. Her species existed in what she called the interstice, a realm between moments. It wasn't another universe exactly, but a layer beneath ours, invisible to us because we perceive time as a straight line. "Your equation breached the interstice for a fraction of a second," she said. "A single thought pattern resonated with our dimension. We traced it here, to you." "That's impossible," I said. "The resonance field was theoretical. I never even tested it." "You did. Every thought tests reality. Every equation you imagine alters the fabric slightly. You called us, unintentionally, but the call was pure enough for me to find you. I wanted to laugh, to dismiss it as some elaborate prank. But something deep in me recognized the truth in her words." "Why me?" I asked. She tilted her head, her silver eyes studying me. "Because you are one of the last. The bridge between our kind and yours." I didn't understand then. I would soon. Part 2. The Visitor. Over the next several days, Nira appeared again and again, always at night, always within the sealed confines of my office. She could manipulate light, bend shadows, even slow time. Once I saw her touch a chalkboard, and the equations rearranged themselves into symbols I'd never seen before, pulsing like living code. I started recording everything, taking notes, sketches, audio logs. But the recordings always vanished the next morning. The files would delete themselves, or the footage would show only static. "Your instruments cannot hold my presence," she said. "You must remember instead." During one of our conversations, I asked if others of her kind had visited Earth. "Long ago," she said. "We guided your ancestors when they first looked at the stars. But contact was severed when humanity began to collapse timelines through violence. We cannot exist within conflict." Her words struck me like scripture. "So why return now?" "Because the interstice is dying. Your universe's expansion, what you call dark energy, is tearing through ours. We cannot survive unless we merge with the consciousness that called us." "You." My blood went cold. "You want to merge with me?" "Not destroy you," she said. "Become one with you. The resonance you created is compatible. You were born for this." I wanted to believe I misheard her. Born for this. But she reached out her hand then, slender, translucent, and when her fingers brushed my temple, I saw it. Not just visions but memories, hers or perhaps ours. Vast fields of glowing light stretching through a void beyond time. Beings like Nira moving through currents of energy, speaking in pulses of emotion rather than words. A civilization not of flesh and metal but of thought and memory. Felt peace. Connection. Love unlike anything human. Then it was gone. "You see now," she whispered, "why I came to Earth for you." Part 3: The Warning. The next morning I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. My mind buzzed with images of the interstice and the haunting question of what merging really meant. I stopped attending classes. My colleagues thought I was burned out, maybe having a breakdown. They weren't wrong. Then one evening someone knocked on my office door. It wasn't Nira. A man stood there, wearing a dark suit and carrying a government ID badge that simply read Dr. Malcolm Price, Department of Defense Research Division. His smile was professional, but his eyes were cold. "Dr. Reese, we need to talk about your recent experiments. How did you? Your work on quantum resonance has drawn attention. We've detected unexplained energy spikes near this facility. It appears you've opened a communication channel of some sort." Froze. "You've been monitoring me?" "We monitor everything related to high-energy quantum anomalies," he said matter-of-factly. "But in your case, the readings are off the charts. Whatever you're doing, stop immediately." "Why?" "Because if you keep it up, something is going to come through." My heart skipped. "Something already has." He didn't laugh. Instead, he looked at me like a man confirming his worst fear. "Then God help us all." He left me with a warning and an encrypted contact number. "If she returns," he said, "call me before you talk to her again. You don't know what you're dealing with." But I couldn't. Nira had shown me too much. I had felt her world, her truth. I wasn't going to betray her. Part 4: The Revelation. That night she came again, but something was wrong. Her glow was dimmer, flickering. "They've found you," she said. "The ones who monitor the interstice. You must choose now." "Choose what?" "To join us, or to let both realms perish." Her words echoed in my skull. I demanded to know what that meant. "The expansion of your universe will reach a point where our dimensions collide. When that happens, both will dissolve into entropy. Unless we stabilize the bridge, through you. So, merging with me would stabilize it." "Yes. You would become the anchor, a hybrid consciousness existing in both realities. The first of your kind." I stepped back, shaking. "That sounds like death." "It is transformation," she said softly. "You will not lose yourself, you will expand." I thought of Malcolm Price's warning, of the government's fear. Maybe Nira wasn't here to save me. Maybe she was here to use me. How do I know this isn't just invasion? Yes. How do I know you're not lying? She looked almost hurt, if such a being could feel pain. Because I loved you before you were born. Froze. What did you say? Your consciousness is not new to us. You were once part of the interstice. Long ago, when our kind experimented with physical manifestation, fragments of us were scattered into this plane. You are one of those fragments. You have always been one of us, Evan. I couldn't breathe. The room tilted. My entire life, my thoughts, my curiosity about the cosmos, it all felt like a setup, an invisible thread pulling me toward this moment. I came to bring you home, she said. Part 5, The Merge. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I reached out. When our hands met, light exploded between us, and I was no longer in my office. I stood on the edge of a vast ocean of stars, each one pulsing to a rhythm I somehow recognized. Welcome home, 1,000 voices whispered. I saw Neera beside me, radiant and sorrowful. You understand now, she said. And I did. The interstice wasn't dying because of our universe. It was dying because of me. My mind's attempts to understand it had destabilized its boundary. My equations had punched holes through its membrane. I was the contagion, and the only way to repair the damage was to reintegrate me, to make me part of the system I had broken. If I merge with you, I said, will Earth survive? Yes. But you will not return as you are. I hesitated. I thought of my colleagues, of the life I had built. Then I thought of the fragile, beautiful balance between worlds, two realities trembling at the edge of collapse. Do it. Neera stepped closer, placed her hand over my heart, and whispered a phrase that felt like both music and mathematics. I felt myself unraveling, my body dissolving into pure light, my thoughts merging with hers. I saw her memories, my memories, the birth of stars, the death of civilizations. All at once. Then silence. Part 6. Aftermath. I woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed. Dr. Malcolm Price sat beside me, his face grim. You're lucky to be alive, he said. The entire physics building went dark. Security footage shows you vanishing in a flash of light. Then the power grid overloaded across half the city. What about Neera? Croaked. He stared at me. Who? I tried to explain, but every time I described her, the words slipped away, like trying to recall a dream fading with daylight. My brain couldn't hold her image anymore. The doctors said I had suffered a neurological event. My instruments, my research, all confiscated by the government. The resonance data was gone. But that wasn't the end. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I hear her voice. Not in my ears, but deep inside, resonating in my bones. You are not lost. You are both. And sometimes when I touch metal or glass, faint patterns ripple across it, equations forming and vanishing like whispers. I think part of me stayed there, with her. Or maybe part of her stayed here, with me. Part 7, The Return. Months passed. I tried to resume my life, teaching smaller classes, avoiding media attention. But the world had changed subtly. Satellites began detecting strange bursts of energy from low orbit. Signals with mathematical structures identical to my old resonance equations. Price visited me again, more agitated this time. It's happening again, he said. Energy readings all over the planet. It's like someone or something is answering a call. I didn't tell him the truth. That I was the transmitter now. That every thought I had sent a pulse into the interstice. That I could feel her waking up again. That night, I went to the river outside town and stared at the water, shimmering beneath the stars. The air felt different. Denser, vibrating. Evan, her voice whispered. And she was there. Not in light this time, but in reflection. her image rippling across the water, smiling faintly. "You chose well," she said. "The bridge holds. But soon the others will come. Not all seek harmony." "What do you mean?" I asked. "You were the first. Now others have sensed the opening. They will come to claim what remains." Her reflection flickered. "You must prepare them, Evan. Teach them what you know. The next convergence is near." Then she vanished. Epilogue: the truth. It's been a year since then. The world has begun noticing strange anomalies. Time dilation events, spontaneous electromagnetic surges, skylights seen from multiple continents. Scientists argue, governments panic. But I know what's coming. Nearest people are crossing over. Some to merge. Some to conquer. And I am the anchor that makes it possible. When she first said she came to Earth for me, I thought it was out of love. Maybe it still was, but love in her world is not what we think it is. It's not possession or emotion. It's gravity. A force that pulls minds together until they cannot be separated. Now I feel her everywhere. In the hum of power lines, in the static before a storm, in the silence between heartbeats. I am no longer just Evan Reese. I am the bridge between worlds. And soon the rest of humanity will hear the call too. When they do, they'll ask the same question I once did. Why me? And the answer will shake them to their core. Because you were never truly human to begin with.